Welcome to my channel. My name is Kathleen. I'm continuing along on my project of discussing a client who came to see me with an issue or a problem, the cards that I drew in the context of that reading, how I interpreted that card, and how that fit also or not with the intuition that I was also having about the client and where their life was going. The young woman that came to see me today is a doctor. She's in her early 30s, unmarried. And her question was both career and family focused. She wanted to know if she would in fact ever marry and have a family, if she'd stay practicing in this city or move to a different one. She isn't from this city originally. So we started with just looking briefly at her career, and what was interesting is that on several occasions throughout her reading, the Queen of Pentacles turned over, and this was over 2 or 3 decks. Queen of Pentacles. This Queen of Pentacles came up, and the Queen of Pentacles in this deck came up. In fact, in this card, it was hiding under one of the other decks and just kind of turned over. So I said, clearly, the Queen of Pentacles is your card. And she was on many levels. I often describe the Queen of Pentacles as a doctor. She understands spirit embodied. She's nurturing. She cares about her own health and the health of others. And the client was a Capricorn, and so she is the Queen of Pentacles. Earth is her energy as well. So I said, you're clearly fulfilling your life purpose in this line of work. She, of course, spent a long time studying to become this doctor. And she loved her work. She had discovered as well that her specialty, or what she really loved doing, was working with women, and particularly in gynecological work, birthing, fertility. That whole field was one that really spoke to her. So that fit also with the Queen of Pentacles very well. So her question about will I marry in the future, there were lots of reasons in her reading to be encouraged by that question. The King of Cups came up. I often describe him as the king of your heart. The Chariot came up for whether she would be staying in this city or moving to a new one. And the Chariot is like getting in your chariot and leaving town, or setting goals and moving forward, but certainly suggested that she would be leaving this town, and that didn't really surprise her. She felt that everything she had to experience here had been in the last 12 years, and she really was looking forward to going to a new place. Now, what her future career looked like came up the Hermit. So I said, it looks to me like you'll have your own practice, which seemed what was in her plans. And yet there was kind of, the Hermit card sort of suggests that she'll be doing it her own way as well. So that led us to exploring new ideas and different ways of looking at how she could apply her trade. Now she especially was keen to know whether her own fertility was okay, and would she be having children in her future. And now, looking at fertility issues in women is a big issue in women's lives. And this is an example of when you're doing a reading, what you say can have a huge impact on a client. So we all have to be cautious that we say encouraging things of this nature. So I certainly didn't want to discourage her, despite the fact that she's had some gynecological issues. And in fact, I was glad to see that the reading itself suggested there was every reason to be hopeful as well. And I turned to the Transparency Tarot, which she really liked. And this was her Fertility card at the end, which, you know, you can see a rainbow in there. This is the Ace of Pentacles right in the center here. The Ace of Pentacles is like the gift of the physical. So I said like a physical gift, which of course a baby is kind of your ultimate physical gift. So I said there's every reason to be hopeful that you will successfully go through a pregnancy in the future. And what was interesting too was that the past card had come up, Temperance. That was the first card in her Transparency Tarot reading. And I said, you have actually been pregnant. You may not have, obviously you didn't take the pregnancy to term, but the cards are suggesting about 14 years ago, you did in fact have a pregnancy. So you've successfully been pregnant. And she said, oh, I'm not sure about that. And I said, well, think back 14 years ago to how old you were. Did you have a steady boyfriend? And did you have unprotected sex? And she said, actually, I did. And I said, so the cards are suggesting you were pregnant then, so you can get pregnant again in the future. And which was great news for her. Now, if we also went on to exploring partnership and whether she would meet somebody, because that was significant. She was not the sort of woman who would have a baby on her own. She said she'd had friends who'd done that with artificial insemination, but she really didn't see herself as that person. And I did notice that in the cards. Again, it had suggested that for her, you know, having a serious relationship and raising a child with someone else is how she would prefer to go about that. And that had come up, the Knight of Cups, who I describe as Romeo. So if you've enjoyed listening to how I process someone's issue who've come to see me and draw the cards and interpret them, then don't forget to subscribe to my channel below. If you've enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up. All of that engagement helps other people find me on YouTube. And thank you very much for joining me here today. If this is your first time, I hope you'll return. And if you're a returning viewer, then thanks for joining me here again today. I can be reached. You would just have to go to my websites, Tarot by Kathleen, email me. I welcome engagement. I've turned off comments in my videos because unfortunately this topic seems to entice some unsavory comments, which I really don't want viewers to have to read. I don't even want to have to read them myself, so I turn my comments off. But that doesn't mean I'm difficult to reach. I'm very easy to find on the internet, and I welcome you to get in touch with me. I practice online, and I also see clients in person. I've been practicing for 40 years. I taught tarot for 20 years in colleges and universities. I have a master's degree in religion and culture. I love teaching. However, I retired that part of my practice several years ago. I do occasionally lecture, and I've chosen this venue as a way to introduce people to the tarot, what tarot readings are like. You may know someone who's interested in learning how to become a tarot reader. Welcome to share my video with people you know enjoy going for tarot readings or want to be a tarot reader. I always appreciate having new viewers, and I look forward to seeing you here again soon. Thank you for joining me. Bye for now.